Hello YouTube, Beat here, back with another kicking action figure review. This view is over the Marvel Legends Infinite Series Hobgoblin Build-A-Figure Wave Spider-Girl, and this is the Mayday Parker Spider-Girl, who used to be one of my favorite superheroes, actually. I used to really like her back in the day, and I still like her. I mean, she was really cool in Spider-Verse and everything. I just hadn't read anything with her in it until recently when Spider-Verse happened, which was a pretty cool event, I have to say. And she was very prominent in it. I don't really want to say she played an important role, but, well, I guess she kind of did. I don't want to give away any spoilers. But, yeah, I've been waiting actually for a figure of her for a long time. Maybe like a year ago I was actually searching for figures of her online and there wasn't really anything. But now, you know, we got this. And I got her off Amazon for about 21, 22 bucks, you know, but I used the gift card, so I got her and Anti-Venom together for like 13, which is awesome. Because I can't find them in retail. Haha! I can't find this wave at all in retail. Fantastic. But, you know, she's actually got some problems as a figure. I was hoping she'd be one of the better ones in the wave, because the Spider-Girl from the last Infinite Series Spider-Man wave is one of my favorite Marvel Legends. And, you know, I don't have that many Marvel Legends. I just really started collecting Marvel Legends seriously when the Infinite Series started. The Infinite Series the first one, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 wave, I really started seriously collecting Marvel Legends on that wave. So, I'm still fairly new the Marvel Legends game. You know, like I've picked up one or two over the years. You know, I have a few Toy Biz. I got some Marvel Selects also, but most of my Marvel Legends are recent ones. So that's really why most of mine are favorites. Lots of people are like, you should have Toy Biz favorites, which is why I felt the need to point that out. But most of mine are Hasbro. So yeah, she's cool and all. She uses the Jubilee mold, which isn't a bad mold. It's a good little mold, but it's like, I don't feel like this body works as well on my May Parker Spider-Girl as it does like my Anya Spider-Girl. But yeah, so let's just zoom out a little. Oh, there's my head. Yeah, I'm like doing this in a shed, so I don't really have a lot of lighting options currently, and you know, lights for this are expensive, so. But yeah, like first off, the packaging bows her legs like that, so it's a little difficult for her to stand, which is no good. And that's my first complaint. I mean, you can fix that with like a hairdryer and stuff, so she still, you know, stands better. But like, my joints in her feet are a little stiff on mine, so it's a little hard getting her to stand anyways. But up the leg, like the joints get looser, so it's whatever. And another complaint, she only comes with flipping hands. I mean, she's a smaller character, so you'd think they could include more accessories, even though they did include some of the bigger goblin pieces with her. Because Anti-Venom comes with the leg, and she comes with the wings and stuff, which I'll show in a bit. But, yeah, she just comes with flipping hands, which I really don't like, because most of the time, I don't display my Spider-Man with flipping hands. All of my Spider-Man figures with interchangeable hands are not using their flipping hands except for one, and he only has one flipping hand, and that's my Amazing Spider-Man 2 Spider-Man, because he's the only Spider-Man in my display in a flipping pose. But she'll probably just kind of be standing in the front of the display. She won't really be posed, because she'll probably fall over a lot, to be honest. Besides, I already have a Spider-Girl posed in the front of the display, so. But yeah, not big on the flipping hands. However, I do like her, like web shooters. I think they look really good. The web shooters look really nice, I think. And, you know, the paint, for the most part, is actually really good and really clean. You know, I feel like they got the colors right. The spider is real clean. The webs on the body and the legs and even the hands is real clean. There's a few parts on the head where it doesn't connect right, but maybe like 3. Very few. Also, new head sculpt on this girl right here. Looks very nice. I really like the head sculpt on her, actually. It looks good, and the eyes are like raised, and it's very, very nice. So that's really good. But it's, you know, just like kind of like teen body mold, which is fine. But yeah, you know, there's that. that's it. She's got peg holes, so that's cool. Got a booty. Got a booty. But yeah, now we're going to talk about articulation. Now, I always start in the head and go down, and the head makes the articulation look really, really promising because she's got a ball, like, and this joint here, and there's like paint on the joint, as you can see, so it looks really good. And she can look up. I mean, she can look up really far, all the way, however you want her to, and down all the way. He's like, oh, does this suit make me look fat? Oh, that was sexist. Anyways, or someone's going to tell me it was at least. Also side to side on the head, and you can kind of just like tilt it too. She goes like, oh, well that's interesting. I am confused. You know, it's really nice. Lots of great movement on the head. And you got up and down on the arms, forward and back, you know, pretty basic. No bicep swivel, because of course female Marvel Legends have to have less articulation than male Marvel Legends. And she's got these weird rectangular joints in here, and so does my other Spider-Girl. But my other Spider-Girl, you know, they don't hinder. They just go right along. They just go right along the joint. But on this Spider-Girl, they make it really difficult to crunch. Like, mine are really tight, and it's hard to get them over that bump right there. You see that bump sticking out? It's a little rough. It's just pop. I mean, maybe if I move them around more, because I just got this figure today. Maybe if I... Oh, see, they just poop. Mine are really rough. I'm thinking maybe if I just keep moving them, they'll loosen up, but as of now, no luck. And of course, you got swivel and poop poop forward and back on the wrists. Of course, I'd hope they would if they're flipping hands. And then you've got a nice bit of back on this like oval torso joint. No forward though. I don't know why they can't just give female figures a crunch. My Power Girl has a crunch, and she's like my favorite DC Universe Classics figure. Just give female figures better articulation. I don't know what the big deal is. I don't know if they like don't want to obscure parts of them, but I mean, just do it. Just give female Marvel Legends more articulation, please. You can just make these crunches, because I mean, this, see, like the joint here, these crunches, they swing out, and you know that's fine. I guess it kind of replaces that joint, but it's still like there's not as much up here. Don't give us this. Just give us a crunch. Just give us a freaking crunch, and then a waist articulation, because there's no waist articulation. Like, you know, the legs move fine, you know, in and out, forward and back and all that. You know, they move all around. You got a nice thigh swivel, even though mine are really loose. See? It's just whoop. Double knee bend. And then you got a thigh swivel, which is good. Up and down on the foot. And then you've got like an ankle pivot, but hers is a little weird. I don't know. I feel like it's not going to do much for the figure, honestly. I'm not sure why I get that feeling, but I do. So, yeah, you know, I'm not all crazy about her articulation. She actually kind of feels a little weak in the articulation place, except for the head. That's really great. Oh, man. I really like how they don't have, you know, hair flowing out for this character design, because it just gives me so much I can do with this head. Because, I mean, like, my other Spider-Girl has a ponytail, which makes her a lot easier to work with also. But, like, take, for instance, Captain Marvel and Spider-Woman. You know, I'm not moving those heads anywhere for the most part, you know. That's also why this is probably my favorite female Marvel Legend right here. Boop, boop. Love her so much. But, yeah, you know, Spider-Girl is just kind of weak in that articulation department. But now we're going to get into size comparisons. Now, here's Mayday Parker with some other recent Hasbro Marvel Legends. Here on the left, we have the Marvel Legends Infinite Series Captain Marvel from the King Thor Odin Allfather Build-A-Figure wave, which is really the wave, pretty much right before this one, the Spider-Man wave. And then here on the right, we have the Anti-Venom from the same wave as Spider-Girl here. So they both build Hobgoblin. And, you know, honestly, I think she looks fine with them because she's a young girl. She's like a teenager. Or she was like in high school, I think, when I was reading her comics back in the day. I don't know, it's been a long time. I think she's older in Spider-Verse. I think she's supposed to be older in Spider-Verse. So, yeah, you know, her being smaller than Carol here on the left is fine. And, you know, Anti-Venom is supposed to be a bigger character for the sake of this figure. So, you know, I think they look fine together also. Now, this sizing is going to be a little wobbly because the thighs on Hawkeye are like his waist is just really wobbly. And then Spider-Girl's kind of wobbly too. She doesn't really want to stand up. But Anya over here is fine. But the Hawkeye is from the same wave as Captain Marvel before, that Thor wave. And he's just the basic Bucky Cap sculpt for the most part. So I thought I'd show him with her, since lots of Marvel Legends are his size. And I think they look pretty good together. Also, here she is with the Anya Spider-Girl from the last Spider-Man wave. And I think I'm getting her name right. I don't know. I haven't read a lot with her in it, to be honest. She doesn't really have traditional spider powers. Hers kind of come from this cult thing. And they fight wasp people. But yeah, you know, I think these two right here scale great together. I think they look wonderful. I'm really loving what they're how they're scaling. Looking great. And it seems like they got really the same mold for the most part, actually. But I feel like she came out before Jubilee, right? I don't know why they call it the Jubilee mold. Because it looks like it's probably the Spider-Girl mold, right? Or no, maybe they were going to release Jubilee first, right? They were going to release Jubilee first. I don't know. You guys can give me the info on that if you got it. But it's the Jubilee sculpt. That's what it's called. But yeah, you know, I think she looked great with your other Hasbro Marvel Legends. And now here she is with some Toy Biz Marvel Legends. Here on the left, this one's technically a Hasbro, but it's an old Toy Biz sculpt, because the original Toy Biz Carnage had the same sculpt, but then Hasbro re-released it. So, you know, this is Carnage here, obviously on the left, and Battle Ravaged Spider-Man on the right from the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie. And honestly, I think she looks pretty good with them, actually. You know, that kind of teenage sculpt looks good, and you know, her facial features and stuff are covered, so you really can't compare them, and I think the bulk is fine, so yeah, screw it. She scales well with your Toy Biz Marvel Legends. And here's Spider-Girl with some Diamond Select, Marvel Select figures. Obviously, she's too small for them, because here on the left we have the Amazing Spider-Man regular release, and here on the right we have Anti-Venom, so it's the other Anti-Venom figure. And she's just way too small for both of them. And there he goes, and there they go, and she's too small. Now, Spider-Girl comes with a lot of stuff for Hobgoblin. She comes with his wings, which are really nice, and also his, you know, sheathed sword. You can sheath this sword or take it out, you know, for when he's displaying with his regular sword. And she also comes with his head here. I'm not going to talk about like detail and paint on them and stuff. We'll just wait for the Hobgoblin review. Ooh, Hobgoblin review. So all in all, what are my final thoughts on the Hasbro Marvel Legends Infinite Series Mayday Parker Spider-Girl figure from the Hobgoblin Build-A-Figure wave? Well, I'm not that impressed, to be totally honest. I thought I was going to love her as much as my other Spider-Girl, but I was wrong. While she does have great head articulation, you know, she does leave something to be desired with the rest of her articulation, because she can't really crunch forward or anything. Not that my other Spider-Girl, you know, can, but every joint on her, except for the joints on her head and on her torso, are either really stiff or really loose. Like stuff in the legs, real loose, but the arms, real tight. Wrists, however, real loose. Then again, shin joints, real tight. And tight in the feet and stuff too, and it's not really working out, actually, you know. But, you know, she's still used to be one of my favorite characters, and she does have pretty good detail and paint. I mean, she looks really good. That's why I thought she was going to be one of the better figures, because she just looks so good, and they got joints painted up on the shoulders and on the neck there. Those joints are painted, which looks great. She's got really cool web shooters, new head sculpt, which looks really nice. And she scales well. She scales well with other figures. So, hey, you know, I mean, she's not bad. She's just, She's just alright. So all in all, you know, I think I'm going to give this figure 3 out of 5 stars. You know, I'm not impressed with her, but I don't hate her. You know, I don't think she's a bad figure. I mean, she's definitely going towards the front of the display. You know, lots of that has to do with the fact that she's small. But she's cool. She's just not great. And I just wish they'd give the females more articulation, honestly. But yeah, you know, that's it, you guys. Please remember to rate, comment, subscribe. Check out all the links in the description below. You got Facebook, Twitter, follow you back on Twitter, all kinds of great stuff. So yeah, that's it. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you all Later.